Welcome back to Interlude Army. Today we're interviewing an award-winning celebrity interviewer, Liam McEwan. Woo!
Yay!
Applause.
Thanks for
Yay!
having me. I was just saying off air that I absolutely love what you guys do. So thank you so much for being such a great voice for the army.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Liam.
Of course. And it's so cool to be here as well. After like looking at your stuff and hearing your voice, it's so cool to actually be able to see you.
That's how I feel. So to actually talk to someone,
It must be a weird feeling.
it really is, but it's a good, unique feeling, I guess that you can
Good.
Mhm.
say.
I like to
So
hear. I like to hear that.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time to join us. I know you're in a tight schedule, so thank you for fitting us in your schedule, Liam.
Of course, sorry.
So
Usually I wouldn't have lots of things to do, but we're about to drop a brand new BTS interview. So
right.
everything is going crazy, and that's one of the reasons I
Uh-huh.
wanted to speak to you today. I was saying is because it's a great time to talk about obviously Dynamite, talk about this new
Yes.
interview and
Mhm.
what's going on with the boys.
Yes, and I cannot wait to hear like your
yes,
experience with this recent interview. So can't wait.
can't wait. So first off, what do you think about BTS's new single Dynamite? I mean, it literally just came out today.
Absolutely mind blowing. When I saw the teaser for the first time,
Uh-huh.
I turned to my friends who I was with, and I was like, I've never been so excited for a single release in my life. Like, I felt like this moment was so monumental for BTS, if that makes sense. This is the biggest they've ever been. This
Mm-hmm.
is, it just seems like the right song. It seems like the right moment. It seems like the right time. As they say, the world needs something like this right now. They needed a little
Yeah.
pick me up, and I feel like who better to do that than BTS? So I love it, and of course, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah,
So,
so
so to see all of the MJ influence
Uh-huh.
in the Dynamite video, like
hmm
it was made for me.
it really was. I actually got done watching your Brian Burns interview, and it's amazing. I didn't know you were such an amazing dancer. The like he has done like Michael
Thanks.
Jackson dance covers, and I know how much Michael Jackson means to you. So that's why I was like trying to ask. I was wondering how you felt about them
Oh,
incorporating his moves into it. So.
thanks. Yeah, well, thanks for watching that Brian interview. Brian's a cool guy.
hmm
Yeah, dancing is one of my early on passions. And obviously, with my love for Michael, it was just like I wanted to be able to, like, as a 7-year old, I was like, I want to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's the
Mhm.
same feeling for people with Army. They want to learn the dance steps. So that was just me with Michael. And so now, even before obviously Dynamite being a huge BTS fan, but now with this single in particular, my eyes literally just like I can't stop looking at this. You know what I mean? Like when I saw the teaser alone and I saw them do the MJ kick, I was like, this is my theme song. This is my song.
I feel you on that.
I'm really happy to hear that. But also, a lot of people have been talking about their experiences, also mentioning that the friendship between the boys are actually it's genuine. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's the experience that made you into a fan? That
yeah,
moment when you realized they
yeah.
were
It was
actually.
it was it was just like getting to see them interact. Do you know what I mean? Like laughing with
Mm.
each other and joking with each other. Like even in this latest interview I've done, um, some of the boys are just like interacting with each other. And it's like, that's just so nice to see. You spend so much time with each other. You're in the middle of an interview and yet you still want to make jokes with the person next to you. And that's just them. And it's really cool to see. But of course, yes, that made me a fan, but then you can't deny the talent that these boys have.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I think the first music video I watched was Not Today. And then the second music, so this is ages ago, this is like 2017, early 2017. And the second video I watched was Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oof.
Both bangers, right?
Yeah.
Both like,
Yeah.
sensational songs and music videos. And I was with one of my guy friends, and
No.
and he was like, he's not usually he's like into like rock music. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean by like a guy friend, a manly man. And we were watching it, and even he was like captivated by this talent. So, and that's another
Wow.
thing that I've learned, I guess, through being in the fandom and
hmm
getting to know Army and meeting people like you guys and the people that might come up to me at a BTS show or wherever we may be. There's really no peak demographic for the boys, if that makes sense. There's really not one lane that you could say that they're in, just because I went to KCON and I had grandmothers coming up to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've had like, I've been in the supermarket and like a 5-year-old girl has come up to me and said, "Oh, you're BTS." You know what I mean? So like, there really is no, I don't know what the word is. There really is no like deciding on who their fan base can be, because it's literally just so universal.
It really is. And I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that's something that we're also trying to share with the general public, just to get that stereotype, I guess, out of their head, that it's not just teenage screaming fangirls. And that's another thing too. There's nothing wrong with being a teenage girl loving something. You know what I mean?
All screamed at concerts before. Do you know what I mean? So like,
right.
And yeah, that's good. Good for you for doing that, because, you know, there's nothing worse than seeing an article or a reporter talking about, you know, the screaming fans and this and this. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. But the ARMY in particular are a lot more than screaming fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, this fan base, guys, like it's seriously a movement. And it's something that I am so moved to be a part of. And when you were saying, you know, the ARMY respect my interviews, that hits home. That means so much, just because like I know what it's like to be an ARMY, and I know how, I guess, the stereotype of fans can be. I know how the stereotype of everything can be.
For the fans listening, and I'm sure they're probably wondering the same thing, is there any like behind the scene moments with BTS that it was not caught on camera or that hasn't been shared yet that you want to talk about?
One of my, I guess, favorite moments to like think back to was when I first found out that Namjoon had been to New Zealand. That was fascinating to me, because New Zealand is a very small country of like just under 5 million people. So coming from that country, I never expected that I would move over to Los Angeles. A Korean band would then come to Los Angeles, and then one of the members would tell me that he studied in New Zealand. Like, that to me was just so mind-blowing. It's just like, how on earth did that connection happen?
Right.
So off camera, Namjoon and I just spoke for a good, maybe 20 minutes about New Zealand, about his experience there. He stayed in Rotorua, which is a place that I used to go for family vacations a lot when I was younger. And he studied there. He wasn't there for that long. I want to say 3 or so months, but it was enough to leave an impact on him. And then, of course, obviously, recently they went to New Zealand for Bon Voyage.
Yes.
So when I saw them at Jingle Ball, they'd literally just come back from New Zealand. Yeah. So I was able to talk to them then and be like, what did you think? You know, because the other boys hadn't been before. So that was cool. It was nice to be able to speak to them about moments, like personal things like that, like my country, because I know how much it means to them to talk about, you know, their culture and their, you know, so to have that back was a nice moment for me. Yeah.